will speak again this morning regarding the restructuring of Ebema leadership and Ezeship. They are both the same thing. How do we restructure Ebema leadership so that it will become competitive, it will become respected, it will become coherent, it will produce sustainability and development? How can we have an Ezeship platforms that will be highly respected and honored? How? That is the question today. The current structure that we have, are they summarily respected? If someone will say, leadership, like some responses came in, some of them were so good, supporting the program, the project, our structure. Some were not good at all. And they are saying, leadership, leadership. Amamundebwan. Onronya fabo Ezeship, onronya fabo leadership. Onronya ikpuriku. Onronya siyabu waleze. These are the questions that one may ask. Onronya ni siyabu waleze. What we have said clearly. Bunde buezeta. We serve call throughout their duration. We serve call throughout their duration. Malala history will not forget any of them who will stand up to say, if no maka no lekubleji. Kani do pajie ni ife no ihu. La power no ani were ana mawanga je uswa. All the penny for le fetch kwane. Nke le fetch le fetch ni under controversy. Under controversy. For example, today in Ebema River, for example, and we're going to OU with multinationals, with Egypt. A very underquoted MOU. Underquoted, given the volume of our production, given the volume of our oil and gas facility assets and production. Grossly underquoted. For example, in 1999, a group of Ebema people, led by a respected man of God, Pastor Prince Wilejekwe, had an MOU with Egypt. The value of that MOU, the over 4 billion naira, 4 billion. The total value of that MOU in 1999, the over 4 billion naira today. That group were never allowed to construct that MOU. That group was fought by the Ezeship stools of Ebema. Adawe. But thank God that they were able to procure, to sign that MOU before Allah Akushiwowe. Thank God that paper, a legal document, even though like the same Ezeship, who gets what? We have made a publication, Lani Leme indoors Julius Beja to do that job. Ka Ebema, Mbede town, Okuzi town, Aga town, and all of the communities inside them join hands together and call Egypt to a roundtable meeting and tell them, Lani Achonwaye, Ikeri Oro no Ekeri, and Ekeri wa, Ola Doku, Okwebeyaero, Technical College, very vast project. Palm plantation, very vast project. Youth development center, very vast project. Almost like a stadium. All together. Employment. That MOU, MBA implement. They have refused to meet to do this decision because interest groups, the people who bring that job, benefit anything from that job, are looking for some of the projects. The SS are looking some of the projects. And so, okukoto agbo. Now we are saying, yes, unu disavro inweta ife as a youth. Ndere this type of mamodemu oy. Unu disavro inweta ife. Yes. Malove love lonja roriri oru ya munle inweta ife. We are saying yes, as in days in loloche. Unu disavro kenye anya to go ife from there. Yes, because I want that la rono the communities. Yes. Malove lonja roriri the contract. The standards are questionable. The standards are questionable. It does not last. Now let us bring a competent, known, world-renowned engineering construction company. The likes of Julius Berger. So many of them that will even that are even less expensive, that are not as expensive as Julius Berger are there, but they are construction of world standard. So many developers around the world. Some of them are in Nigeria today. Let us call such people, have meeting with them, underwrite these things. Yes, quote it. A percentage of these jobs, you will return it for community settlements. You return some percentage of this job to social percentage for community settlements. Millions of naira. Millions of naira. They have benefited. But can it in a round table meeting where all of these projects, a company, an MOU, sign an agreement with the company and they submit to Ajib when this company, this job, well. So that our people will begin to enjoy Ife and Akpoko Noah. And this type of sacrifice our children had made since 1999 for our benefit, for the benefit of Ebema. The only project that they pick here out from there, Arwa, Aruya, Ife Pesrerwa. Mbwebema Civic Center and Karo Lokwizi. Go and see if I were a civic center. Even community town hall, they're more prestigious than that civic center. Any exterior work Karo Naya, a Brubwe, Oche Roba, where do I gagana in Naya? Plastic chairs, it's only 2 years. And we any exterior work or to just the similitude of the community town halls and Grata. Something that does not represent a civic center in the first place. Meanwhile, before I left at the civic center, Arwala and the civic center, Omok local government. Rua is civic center, I'm Pasri Buhani Fellerania. Ebe Marwani Riro. Gmou yunke la silobu Gmou yuta. Area 1 billion. Project lile di area 1 billion. On want to put employment diane. If lile diane mzara project, put it together, it's not up to 1 billion naira. Ma 20 years back, 1999, a group of people went and wrote an MOU with Ajib. Ndi over 4 billion. And you're telling us right Hachi, like with leadership, that should not be reformed. Who is saying this? Who is saying it? Uno Mupanya. We must reform. How can I go for a negotiation? The only way a legitimate negotiation about my lord, company Kucha, Mobile my Ezale Lozoya, upon the phone, also no Unwera Langaya, Unewrela, Unewrela. Where are the professionals? Who knows what we need today? Where are they? Are they not in our communities today? Why wouldn't they be contracted in matters of specialty like this? Where are our professionals? Where are you people? Today, everybody is scrambling. Kenya to MOU. Everybody is scrambling. Nde ko tuloni, nde ko tejala. Everybody is scrambling amongst the elites, among the leaderships. Hey, Ebe Marwani Riro. Kaitetanio. I la ora I lara. Manage Galora free long. Modify me. Kaitetani so that let us build the future for our children. Ofeyego is resuru kije build the future for your children. Ofeye ife pesimi me kije build the future for your children. Ofeye ife belong to community in Arawe. Kije build the future for your children. Look well. Let us look well. Let us look well, my brothers and my sisters. Everybody has a voice. Let us look well and let us tread in the path of development. True development. And the person is very far from where we are now. The same group, Ebema Youth, 1979, that group came up and made sure line with Okolo. What has that light given us from that time till now? They were still fought at that time. They were fought again in 1999. Today, that youth is not functional. Ironically, I am one of the escorts of that youth. The leadership of that youth has become moribund and inactive. I am the secretary of the national body of Ebema Youth in Rivers State. But I will do my secretarial job. And as long as I do that, I have satisfied the provision of law for me in our constitution. There is an executive head that has to endorse every action that must be taken by that youth. And if he doesn't endorse it, anything you do, he will challenge it and he will fight to stop it. And so, should we become an affront to that executive head? So that okay, since that should not happen, because it is not right. What is Ebema Rivers is saying concerning that youth body? That youth body have not delivered one dividend of democracy since inception for a year and 7 months now. What has Ebema leadership done? Nothing. They are enjoying the flow. Why? Because when the youth is functioning well, it becomes the leadership perceives and takes it as an affront to their reign, as an affront to the ills and the errors that are in the system which they have overlooked. They see that youth exposes their incapacities when it is properly functional. And so they enjoy it and they help to cause it to fail every time. Maybe my Jalongan. How can I have an Eze and that Eze, the members of the cabinet of that Eze were never elected? The Eze selected them from all of the communities inside the town. From all of the different communities inside the town, he selected them by himself. Anything he says and anyone says what he said was wrong or is wrong, that person will not come to the next council meeting. He will either be suspended or be removed by the Eze overnight. And you are saying we should not reform. The day the council of village heads comes to a meeting with the Eze, anyone that does not agree with what the Eze says, he challenges him and makes sure he doesn't come to the next meeting. He makes sure he doesn't come to the next meeting. Let him go and rule his village. And whatever is about the entire town, he is no longer a factor that will be reckoned with. Is it what should continue to happen? Those of us that want to elect new Ezes today, don't elect only the Eze. Set up a board, an official board. I'm not saying village heads. The village heads can work hand in hand with the members of that board. Bring up nominees from every community inside the town. Bring up a nominee. And all of the nominees should be elected into that position. Amongst them, let them vote who will be the Eze among them. And all of them, their entire tenure will serve and end one day. Probably 5 or 10 years. An election of Eze should remain at the level of the governing council. Let it no longer be the community issue. Let the election of members of the governing council lie with the community. Then among the governing council, they should elect who should lead them at every point in time. Let it be the council that will decide who should be the Eze. When we decide who becomes the council members, then the council decides who should be the Eze as a council chairman amongst them, and as well as the Eze. He is the council chairman and the Eze. So that the bickering of election will be over. The bickering of election will be over overnight. And every people will fight to bring a strong candidate from their own communities or their own villages as representative, so that he may stand the chance of becoming the Eze eventually amongst them. And the Eze, who is the chairman of that council, that governing council, will always sought the legitimate council, the legitimate advice of his council members, because all of them has the same right. Just that he is the supervisor, he is the superintendent among all of them. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. Let there be equal representation. Let there be equal right. So that no one man's misgivings should undo or should underdevelop community. Before we put our heads together, we structure it by rules and by laws. We will not stop to talk about the moment any settlement the pace, others will follow. We will not stop. And people should learn to learn. My name is Apostle Nnamdi Ijoma. I'm the national president of Obakwe Ebema Development Initiative. Our position is that Ebema must grow. Ebema must be industrialized. Thank you very much. Become a partner in the reform agenda of Obakwe Ebema Development Initiative, and don't fail to follow all of the series we are dropping here regarding Ebema's organized structure proposals, Ebema's industrialization, and Ebema leadership reform. Particularly Ebema leadership reform. Because when the head is good, the body will be healthy. When the head is good, the entire system will be correct, will work in order. God bless you. My name is Apostle Nnamdi Ijoma. I am the National President of Obakwe Ebema Development Initiative. Have a nice day.